So today's the 9th. Wow. Okay, so good evening, folks. Thanks for participating in our meeting on December the 9th. I hope that you're all relatively dry after these last few days, and we're all praying that there's no power outage tonight, because that's what everybody's worried about. So the first order of the business, and I'm going to take this even before the minutes, if I may, because we have several people here. Is that okay with you guys? Okay. Thank you so much. So I want to reopen the hearing on the Raynham Center Water District continuation of tax clarification. You gentlemen were not here last week to sign this, so I will reopen this and go ahead in the chair of the. Have you any comments? Or?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here with Chairman Cabral and Commissioner Dolan as a continuance of the hearing from last week. As we stated last week, the commissioners are recommending a flat tax rate for the water district. And if there was any questions from the board, they're here tonight or from the audience.
Right. So the operative point at this stage is, are there any questions with regard to the flat rate, which was recommended in the classification hearing on the part of the board of the Center Water District?
No, we don't have no.
Any questions from anybody here participating? So therefore, Mr. Chair, we would ask them to sign off on this.
Time's up. Close the hearing after you vote, or no, would they? Yeah, you would vote to.
We do. Yep.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. So you gentlemen will sign off on that. The hearing is closed.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was just going to motion to close it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I made a command.
I'll
motion.
second the motion to close the hearing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Scott.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded and unanimously agreed to. So to get back to the normal routine and schedule, having done that, may I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Oh. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so
Aye,
done.
aye, aye.
Okay. So we have with us the department heads, actually. I'm going to ask the Fire Chief, Jim Janis, to talk first, if he may, and give us a report. Chief? Nice to see you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Good evening. Activity report for the month of November. Fire incidents, fire MVAs, investigations, and public assist were 99. Ambulance, medical emergencies, MVAs, public assist, 162. Miscellaneous inspections, fire alarm work, items of note, 76. Mutual aid, fire ambulance, mutual aid calls, 10 ambulance given, 3 ambulance received, 0 fire given, 2 fire received. LOD shifts, line of duty shifts, 3 men for 552 hours. There were no sick shifts for the month of November. Incidents, as of date, 11/30/2014 is 2,424 compared to 2,306 of 2013. Injury report. Update on Dwayne Mitchell. November 20th, I think I said this in my last report, they repaired the torn meniscus and scraped out the arteries. Everything went well. Dwayne started physical therapy on November 24th. He had a follow-up appointment with the surgeon on December 4th. Everything is healing very well. He still needs to strengthen his muscles and continue the PT twice a week. And another follow-up appointment is on January 21st for reevaluation. Lieutenant Ray, December 17th, Jeff had an appointment with the doctor to see how he's here, and Jeff is still in physical therapy. Firefighter Scott Panardi, an update. Scott had an OHS appointment today, 12/9/2014. He's been cleared to return to work on December 16th. One other note here, last night, don't know how many were still up at 10:30, but I know Ed was. We had several motor vehicle accidents out on 24 and 44, and we had 7-car crash on top of 495 at 24. We had them all over, every 100 feet it seemed like. But my point is, you have Raynham Highway Department. We're on 44 for another one, probably around midnight, 12:30 or so. And there was no Sanders anywhere, and it was treacherous. As soon as we got out of the trucks, we're falling down, and Ed was gracious enough to come by and hit the road for us on a state road. So, and the town roads were done very well. Did a great job. That's my report. Any questions?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, it was bad last night. We were, I don't know, I think we had 8 or 9
Oh, my Lord, that's
accidents.
awful.
Yeah.
Please, Joe.
It was. I know I started in the enterprise today, and good job, Jim, as always. I'd motion also to send a letter to Mass DOT reminding them that they have 2 roadways in our jurisdiction that they have responsibility for, and maybe send them an invoice for the sand we used. See how they like that?
Yeah.
You want to second that?
I second that motion,
Okay, so all in favor?
absolutely.
Hi.
Aye.
Town administrator.
It was very nice of Ed. I mean,
Yeah, thank you, Ed.
Well, that's
come out there and
another
Thank
protect,
you.
our,
Thank you.
our people.
whole-
That's right.
And the other thing I noticed, Chief, is that the total number of incidents from this year compared to last year is up almost 5%.
Yeah.
So
100 and, I forgot. what,
118.
118.
Yeah, that's.
And, you know, last night we added, just from, I think it was like 6 o'clock on, we added another 18
Yeah.
or so.
Wow.
So it's approaching, if not
Yeah.
exceeding, 5% over last year.
Mm.
So that speaks to that. Well, thank you for that.
Welcome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
Jim.
Chief. So next up, a person who's just been mentioned in very, very positive tones, Ed Buckley, the Highway Superintendent. Ed?
Good evening, and thank you. I just wanted to follow along with what the chief was talking about earlier with some weather-related incidents that we've had recently, and we actually went out a little bit earlier than last night. We were out late Thanksgiving evening, or the morning after Thanksgiving. We did have one sander out that night to treat some bridge decks, so that was our first event of the season where we had to treat some roads. We got a call about 2 a.m. from the Raynham PD, and dispatched one sander was sufficient. Our neighbors up in Foxborough weren't so fortunate. They had to send out plows that evening, so we kind of dodged a storm on that night. But and then last night we had this sudden black ice condition that developed about 9:30. We got a call from the PD about 9:45, and we had sanders out shortly after 10. First 2, and then the full fleet after that. And we treated all the roads in town, and then assisted the fire department as well. So everything went well. From my understanding, there was minimal motor vehicle accidents on any town roads, as far as I'm aware of. Spoke with the one on White Street. Yeah, I thought that's
I don't think that was too icy.
might have been an excessive speed situation. I'm not really sure, but beyond that, we did suffer a little mechanical failure last night. Fortunately, didn't affect our operation too much. We lost a drive shaft in one of the sanding trucks, so it was good that we got out and got the season started, I guess, last night with an event of this type rather than a full-blown storm. And we've also got some electrical issues that came to light from with all the precipitation we've been having. So it's giving us a chance now to regroup and get caught up on some of that stuff. Beyond that, the heavy rains that we've had a little bit last week and today are opening up some potholes around the town, and we're going to be jumping on that as soon as this moisture subsides, try to get those roads patched back up, and hopefully for the winter do the best we can. But there's a few roads out there right now that need attention, and I just wanted you to know that we'll get to those as soon as we can. Other than that, regular highway maintenance, we've completed all our brush mowing for the detention areas in a lot of the subdivisions and some of the older drainage systems. We're still out cleaning some catch basins as weather permits, and we've continued some of our litter cleanup on some of the town roads and actually picked up a full pickup truck load today on Gardenia Street. So we've had one gentleman in particular that's been helping us a lot with that effort. Leonard Street, we had spoke a little bit earlier about the previous meeting about doing some drainage work before the end of the season out there. It looks like that's going to happen hopefully the end of this week, or at least by the beginning of next week. And that won't be any disruption to the road surface. It'll all be off pavement, off the shoulder. So we're really hoping that we can get that taken care of. Parks and grounds, they set up the lighting at the gazebo last week. That seems to be all working good for the season. Beyond that, Parks and Grounds is winterizing some equipment, still putting some things away, goals and some of the outdoor equipment. And then they'll move into the shop and they do a round of annual maintenance on all the lawnmowers and tractors. So that's what they do to keep keep busy at this time of year. We also had them yesterday pick out a pretty large fallen tree, which the chief brought to our attention recently down in a section of the Forge River near South Main Street, and we were able to luckily access that from some town property, pulled that out of there so it won't cause any potential flooding down the road. Last area I want to talk about is the transfer station. The transfer station permits go on sale at the Highway Department on Wednesday, December 17th. They're $35 for a half season. I want to let the residents know that's the date, and $70 for a full year. And also I wanted to announce the holiday hours at the transfer station will be as follows. On Christmas Eve, December 24th, the hours will be 7 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Closed all day on Christmas. Regular hours, 7 a.m. to 10:45 on Friday, and open all day on Saturday. And then following that, around New Year's, we're closed all day New Year's, but regular hours again on half-day Friday and full day on Saturday. And I have a copy of those hours if you'd like one for your records. Beyond that, if anybody has any questions, they can call the Highway Department about the hours over the holiday period.
Try to get them on the website.
That's exactly what I was
Okay.
going to say.
Yeah,
Sure.
try to get 'em on
They
the
may be,
website.
but if they're not, I'll make sure they get on the website.
Exactly.
Good. And I want to thank you for the cooperation that you give the fire chief, and also, I'm sure, the police chief as well.
Thank you.
Departments have to work together. And
Absolutely.
you're showing that you are willing to do that, and we like that.
I think
And I'll use "we."
I think it's our responsibility.
The
to do
royal
that.
we.
The royal "we."
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. And again, I'll echo the comments from my colleague here. The fact that the chief is so pleased with the way you came to the rescue with work on State Road is very commendable. And as Joe Pacheco has said, this is something that we need to, to tell our friends at the state level that, they need to be here for us. We can't be doing their job either, but it's great that you were able to do that. We appreciate that.
Thank you. And
Absolutely.
We expect, we'll do that at any time.
Good, thank you so much.
And the lights at the gazebo do look very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's real pretty.
So, moving forward, any new business? Marie?
Just to be us.
No?
No new business,
No
no.
new business, okay. Completion of old business?
No.
Town administrators report, please.
You want to get the Chester BS?
The what? Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, we'll do that. Yes, we have two things, actually. Let me do the first. This appointment for Constable Timothy Holt. You stay active in the community. This is a reappointment. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I'm sorry, we'll get to the Chester Bears American Legion. We have a change in leadership there, so would any of you gentlemen like to speak to that? Please. Yep. You got elected. You got elected. You got elected.
Good evening.
Good.
We have one change in the Board of Directors on the American Legion. He's filed a Corey report and a change with the Secretary of State. We're going to have a change for a manager. We're going to have Mark Tui will be the new manager on the license. It will be Lieutenant Chester, ABS Post, Inc.,
Yep.
and he will be the manager of the post, the bar in the post.
Yep. Any questions on the part of the board?
No questions.
So will I have a motion to approve the changes?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck with the changes, and thank you for the work that you
Thank
do
you
there
very
at the
much.
Legion.
Thank
bet.
you.
Okay, so having done that, let me ask again, is there any old business to complete?
Not from this.
Okay. Now I'll ask for the town administrator's report.
Okay. I'm ready. And the board has in front of them a long list of DPW services that the Southeastern Regional Services Group put out to bid. And the Sursage Board of Directors, including myself, is recommending that the town award contracts as listed.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Also in front of you, I think, is a list of all the alcoholic beverage licenses and food establishment licenses. We're recommending the Board of Health, and recommending that the board approve those, subject to any outstanding taxes being paid and any other further inspections required. 99% of them are done, but there's a few outstanding
Randy,
issues.
you want to vote right now?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I didn't realize there was that many, Randy.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Center Street and Broadway, we just want to let you know that Mr. Charbonneau has requested payment from Walmart for the land takings and appraisal costs. Thus far, we have not received a response. He's working through the engineer. Perhaps we should go directly to the top on those. It's about a $20,000 expense for the land takings and the other costs. So. And as Mr. Buckley said, transfer station stickers are being sold as of December 17th at the highway and also at the Selectmen's office during normal business hours. Upcoming Southeastern Mass Health Group annual board meeting tomorrow, 10 a.m. in Mansfield, and department head meeting a week from Thursday, December 18th at 10 a.m.
Okay. Any questions?
None?
No? Okay, thank you. Selectmen's report?
I'm good.
Good, okay, good. Correspondence, I have here a letter from, well, this is from Kevin, and to the Board of Selectmen, the Raynham Emergency Management is proud to announce that 5 residents, and I will read their names in a minute, have completed and graduated the 10-week Citizens Corp basic training course that was conducted at the regional level. These 5 residents now make up the first Raynham Community Emergency Response Team, and the acronym is CERT, C-E-R-T. That is Community Emergency Response Team. Raynham Community Emergency Response Team, in collaboration with Sachem Rock Regional Emergency Planning Zone, will be conducting another basic training class to begin Thursday, January 15th. The class will meet Thursday evenings from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 10 weeks. Location is to be announced, either Bridgewater, and that'll be announced further, and perhaps there'll be some further comment. The individuals who have completed this program are as follows. The 5 are John Dixon, Jeffrey Heath, Kevin Morera, Bill Palmer, and Kim Palmer. So that's a fantastic piece of accomplishment. Congratulations, and go ahead, Chief. Yep.
I'd like to thank Kevin. He's put a lot of work into this and getting these volunteers and, working with the, people over at with Bridgewater with the training and whatnot. And I just want to publicly thank him. He's done a great job. A lot of work.
Right. Thank you for that, Chief.
It's all volunteer.
And the man you speak of is here. And
Yeah.
Kevin, would you like to
Would you
say
like to say
anything
anything?
on behalf of this work? You're certainly welcome to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. No, I'm just here, I know the correspondence came up today, and I wanted to just come myself in case you had any questions on CERT and what CERT was. I know there's a brief description in the thing we sent about CERT, but if I'm open to any of your questions that you have about CERT and how we can assist in the community.
My question is, does it come under you, Jim, under emergency management? Okay, so if there is a need for anything, you would be the caller?
Yeah, Kevin is the program coordinator.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know.
He would contact the other people, but you are the one in charge?
He's the lead-in call.
Yes.
Right,
And this
correct.
is, if we ever have a disaster, hopefully we don't.
Hopefully we
Or
don't.
it don't even have to be that, like parades and stuff like that. These people volunteer and help us out, whether it's holding a sign somewhere or whatever,
Yeah.
different parades.
Yeah.
Kevin's been involved with a lot of that over in Bridgewater, and hopefully we'll be able to use them for our parade in May.
I think it's a wonderful program.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin, let me ask you a question. Is the information regarding this program, is that on our website?
Is it on the town's website?
Yeah.
Just the training.
Just the training as of right now. There is no official CERT link, or I don't know, is there an emergency management link under the fire department?
It's something to think about because it's such a community positive resource that understanding the chain of command and so forth. So there might be worth putting some effort into seeing that that's on the town's website because it's a very, very important new program.
Oh, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The actual program has been around for many years. It actually started out in California in L.A. County, and they have thousands of CERT members, thousands in L.A. County that assist with anything from earthquakes. CERT was utilized a lot for Hurricane Katrina, and there was a big push after Katrina, realizing that the EMS, fire, police were overburdened with so many calls, so many things to do, and they needed extra people that had some training to assist. Again, CERT was also did a big push for Hurricane Sandy on Long Island and Nassau County and in New Jersey again. And it's all volunteer. All CERT members are all volunteer that want to give back to the community. So hopefully we can get this program growing. The way they look at it is at least 25% of the personnel are available if called up. So as of only 5 right now.
That means one.
One would show up. So
get
we'd like to get the program growing. I know, if I'm not mistaken, my counterparts in Bridgewater have about 90 CERT members that have been trained, and it can be anywhere as long as you're 18 to anybody that is over at the Housing Authority. So we're looking for anybody to assist. Anybody at certain areas of town can be a liaison for that area of town to communicate with their neighbors or at the Housing Authority. So yeah, we'd like to get the program to grow just so we can get a base around town. And they could also be a good base to bring concerns back to the CERT meetings so we can try to address some concerns also.
Yeah, well, I hope that we do, there's some effort to put it on the town's website because I think that will give it a little bit of visibility that it deserves.
Yeah, we're calling ourselves the Sacred Regional
Yep.
Emergency Planning.
That's right, yeah.
And they're going to have a website up soon.
Yeah,
We
good.
talked about this today at the meeting, and you'll be able to go on there and, it'll
Good.
tell you everything about it, who's on it, and what towns, and it's, I think it's 5 towns.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken right now, the towns are Raynham, Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater, Whitman, Hanson,
And Halifax.
Halifax, and they are looking at possibly coming on board also with Rockland, I think. Rockland has showed interest. And the big reason for the regionalization is so each town isn't doing the same thing. Each town was putting in for the same grants. Each town was putting in for the same items. This way they're trying to regionalize so each town can bring a piece of the pie to the table, and then, at the end game, there's a full regional team that's able to go and almost provide mutual aid when needed
Sure,
to each other.
yeah.
The goal is to do internal, like the Raynham team would cover Raynham events, and then if we know it's going to be a larger event, we can say, hey, Bridgewater or region, can you spare some bodies, come over, help us in Raynham. Same thing with us, they can reach out back to us and say, hey, we have something going on in another town, can you reach back out and send us some extra help, some mutual aid.
Good.
And most important of all, if we ever have to open up a shelter, I mean, as you know, if they have to open up a shelter in town, I ain't gonna have anybody. And these people hopefully will be able to step up and help us out on a shelter. Because Believe me, I've seen how they operate. And I had to go to Gardner that time, the ice storm. It was a mess. It was
Well, let's hope, as you
terrible.
said,
No help,
Chief.
No nothing. It was, but, to have these people available would be a huge plus for the town.
Well, let's hope, as you said, that we never need it, but it's nice to know that we have that capability.
And they're all trained.
Good, that's excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Okay, so the last piece of correspondence I have is a request for Tag Day, December 11, 12, 18, and 19, and this is from the National, what's the word, Randy? I know it's Outreach Foundation. Paradigm, sorry. That's a word that I don't use much. The National Paradigm Overreach Foundation. The name of the contact is Lawrence James, and basically they collaborate with local organizations to fundraise, to provide shelter, food, and education. They also help create temporary employment. Funds collected remain in the area to help veterans locally.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Seeing no press time, any emergency? Yep, go
I
ahead.
do have one non-emergency, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
go
I
ahead.
wanted to wait in case it was in correspondence. Mr. Donahue, John Donahue, emailed me today requesting our approval on Sunday, March 8th at 10 a.m. for the annual Knights of Columbus Road Race. As they always do, they have a paid police detail. They coordinate with both chiefs, and I would motion to approve if there's no issues.
Second?
Yep, none at all. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, no emergency business?
None.
No citizen input? May I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn, sign the bills, no business thereafter.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So done. Good evening, folks.